Dude, a woman lights her husband on fire for molesting their daughter. It's badass. But before we get into that, what's up? Yeah, I'm going to talk about it's actually happened like almost 10 years ago, I think. But it seems like the podcast where I talk about or read about crazy stories that happened years ago. I mean, there's a few that are like way more popular, but it seems like the ones that have legs, the ones that I get, listens or downloads or whatever, are the ones that are about, true crime kind of stories or just crazy stories that happen. Like I have an episode about the Alaskan Avenger, and that thing always gets like people listen to that still. I mean, it's not like I'm like, killing it, but it still gets a lot of listens and downloads. I'm kind of surprised. So I was kind of going through some of mine, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it looks like these are the ones that kind of stand the test of time, so to speak. You know what I mean? I mean, you have like your headlines and whatever, but I don't know. Like there's another shooter that shot up a school in the States. She's like a feminist. It's like, and again, immediately, get rid of guns. We gotta get rid of guns. Guns are the problem. It's like, dude, it's the person shooting the gun, you dumb fuck. It's like, if there were no guns, they would find another reason. They would find another way to commit these crimes or these killings or whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, you can argue like maybe it's more accessible, that if there were no guns, then they'd have to come up with another way, and then in doing so would keep them from actually committing it. Maybe, it's possible. But the fact of the matter is, there are guns, and you're not going to get rid of them. It's like it's a pipe dream to think that, unless you had a genie that could magically. I think I've said it before. Unless you had a genie that magically could just make all guns and all bullets and all machines that make guns just disappear and everybody forget about them, that's the only way it could work. But you're not. It's just dumb. It's a stupid argument. It's just liberal retards fighting against right-wing retards, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm a gun person. I'm not like a gun fanatic. I had to sell all my guns when I moved here, which was it was hard at first, but I got over it. I want to get some guns while we're here, I mean, like I do have, oh gosh, I left a shotgun that I got like when I was in 6th grade for Christmas with my cousin. That's the only one that really kind of bugs me, that I wish I could still have, that I would like to fill out the paperwork and have it shipped here. I got to reach out to him. But other than that, I had a different shotgun. It was a nice over-under. I had a couple pistols, but I sold them all just because just the time and money and everything to bring guns over here just wasn't, we were kind of on a quick turnaround, you could say. So for more information regarding that, watch another episode. But, there was the Luigi guy that killed the CEO. Didn't hear nothing about nobody. Hey, we need to get rid of guns. It's like it's just, I don't know. It gets so annoying. It's so obvious. I mean, and it's both sides of the aisle. It's just like some of their arguments. It's just like, oh my God, it's just so stupid. And they wonder why people don't respect politicians and people don't trust the news and all that. You know what I mean? It's just like, I wonder why. Anyway, so what am I doing? I got up early. Well, I get up early pretty much every day because I go to bed early. But the one thing I've noticed though, and this is all coincidental, but I remember when I worked for the VA, like it was just like really like you were under the microscope and you were under pressure to make sure that, you know, everything was, all veterans were taken care of and this and that, like to the point of where it was annoying, you know. And I remember dealing with some vets where I was just like, dude, you're a douche. You know, you make me feel guilty about being a veteran. You know what I mean? There's some of them out there. And then, but I was like, you know, Trump was like really implementing a better VA, you know? So it's like, it was really annoying, but at the same time, like I understood and recognized that, okay, this is to make the VA better, because I, you know, been going to the VA for years, and before that it was like trash, you know, so it gotten better, right? And then now it's like the VA is sucking again, and I'm just like, oh, you know, because Biden, I don't know, it's probably just coincidental, but it does kind of seem, I do see a little bit of a pattern. And like the VA in Manila, for the first year, 2 years maybe I was here. How long have I been here now? I've been here, it's going to be going on 5 years. The first 2 years I was here, I had no problems with getting my pharmaceutical, my medication, you know, delivered to me. But for the last 2 years or more, it's like it takes a month. I'll select, okay, I need to order a new whatever, and it takes like a month to get here when it used to be like a week. You know, and they're like, oh, we're backed up. Well, it's like, okay, well, you've been backed up for 2 years now. What the fuck's the problem? There's obviously some kind of reason you're backed up. How are you not finding the reason for the backup and fixing it? You know what I mean? I'm just like, what? And I'm just like, oh, Biden, failure. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Again, it's, you know, it's just speculation, but anyway, it's just annoying. It was like, because I used to order, because you can only order your meds like at a certain time. Like it's not, you can't just order it whenever. It's like when it becomes available. So then I'd click, order it. But then by the time it got to me, I was like out of my meds in like a week. For a week, I didn't have it or so. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're backed up, then you need to let people order their shit earlier, you know? I don't know. It's kind of annoying. I sent a message to my medication doctor guy, and I was like, hey, I just ordered my whatever. I was like, I'm still kind of waiting. It was like a month ago I ordered some other stuff and I haven't gotten it. And I'm like, what's going on with the, it's like, it's been backed up for 2 years. Like, what's so hard? Like, what's going on? How do they not figure out the problem? Anyway, so that's going on.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could, like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So, hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode. I love it here, but at the same time, I don't. The other thing is, like, so I burnt this morning, got up, and I get up pretty early every day. Whether I've slept good or not, if I haven't slept good, I get up really early. Like yesterday, I got up like at 2 in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. But say I woke up like 4, and you know, I start getting things ready for my kids and getting stuff prepared and whatever. And then once they were ready to go, I was like, you know, I'm going to burn some trash. So a thing here, maybe not down in Manila in the city, but where I live, which is a little bit rural, not really, but sort of. A lot of people burn, you know, yard waste or garbage. They're not supposed to, supposedly, but, you know, I've been putting out trash cans in the front of my house and they never get picked up. Like we have to call them like, hey, you gonna pick it up? It's like ridiculous, you know? So what I started doing, which isn't a bad idea really, but I started separating our garbage. So I have like trash that needs to be picked up by the garbage, and then I have some recycle, and then I have burnable trash. So it cuts down my garbage a lot more, my waste that I have to get picked up by the garbage truck, right? And now they have a landfill that they kind of opened up, set up, or they upgraded, I guess, and it's a lot easier to kind of get rid of stuff. So that's what we've been doing. When our trash gets full, we just stick it in the back of our truck and take it there, because to rely on the garbage men here is just it's it's never gonna happen. And so today I was burning just the burn, like I have a trash can that's just stuff that burns, So then I'll burn a little bit of yard waste, like palm trees, dude. Palm trees, coconut trees, holy crap. They look cool, but they produce so much waste. It's annoying. I can't wait to get rid of mine. I gotta figure out something else though, because it's gonna kill a lot of shade. I don't know, but dealing with that. But I mean, I think that's one of the biggest gripes I have about here is like, in the States, your garbage, your waste management, your law enforcement, your emergency services, all of them, they are held to a very high standard, and they are under a microscope, which when you are one of those individuals, when you're EMS, when you're waste management, police, whatever, it's annoying, right? But here it's like, dude, they suck. The police suck. They don't do anything. They try their damnedest to get out of really doing anything. All they want to do is drive around in their uniform with their lights on, like, look at me, I'm a police officer. Hopefully nothing happens and I don't have to do anything. That's what it seems like, And same thing with the garbage. Like, why do we have to, like, get an act of Congress to get our garbage picked up, It's like, it gets annoying sometimes, man. But anyway, so that's what I was doing today. And then, okay, on top of that, I guess this is a griping episode. My internet. So we used to have PLDT, which is the internet provider here, and they sucked. When the internet worked, it was fine, but when it was down, it took forever to get any kind of response or any customer service, anything. It was horrible. And so we got rid of them, and then we got Globe. And it's been better. Like, they're a lot more like the ratio for our internet to be out or whatever is a lot less. Like the internet's usually, for the most part, the internet works just fine. I have no problems, right? And then when we have had problems, it seemed like they were a little quicker to get it fixed. Until recently, though. So it's like the third day. Yeah, my internet's out right now. Supposedly they're working on something. I don't know if they're installing more lines or whatever, but it's like we'll have internet for a half hour or something, and then it won't. It comes and goes, but it's like 3 days, and they keep telling my wife, oh, we're working on some stuff. It's like, okay, well, for how long? Like, what's the time frame? What's going on, It's just like, oh my goodness. These are the types of things that they're like, oh, you're in a different country. Don't move there. Just accept it. And it's like, yes, I know. It's a different country. Things are different. But at the same time, it's like, and I can accept a lot of it, most of it. But there are just some things that I can't. And it's just like, in the States, the customer's always right. The customer service person wants to say, fuck you, customer's always wrong. I get it. But here, they actually live by that code. They don't give a fuck. They just, whatever. It's just, I don't know, there's no accountability here. And then when you call somebody out for anything, like for failing to do their job or failing to be stupid, they get all pissy and upset and everything. It's just like, gosh. Which, to be fair, nobody likes to be called out, but it's different here. It's hard to explain. I don't know. But that's enough about me going on today. So the thing I wanted to talk about was on Facebook. There was a woman who lit her husband on fire because he was molesting their daughter, right? So apparently this happened in Washington back in 2014, so 10 years ago. And I can't say that I remember hearing about this. Now, I guess there's, on social media, you'll always get People will post things and you're like, dude, that's old. Most people will catch it. Dude, that's so old. But sometimes, like for me, like it was the first time I've seen it, right? But I guess the pictures that used to correlate with the story were the wrong, completely wrong pictures. Like the woman and everything was just like not the right one. They just get the story. Somebody finds a random picture of a guy burning and puts it together, you know? And they're like, oh, it's fake news. And it's like, well, it's not fake news. It's just not completely correct. That's the other thing, too, though, is like a woman did set a guy on fire. Yeah, that's not the right picture, but that doesn't mean that this whole thing was fake, you know? And that's what, like, the whole left-wing media and all the bullshit on Facebook and everything used to do. They would find something in a post that might be wrong. And it could be something so minute that was like, it doesn't matter. But they'll be like, oh, that's false because you didn't put a period. You know, it's like, oh my gosh. Anyway, it's turning around now. The pendulum is swinging, right? Anyway, all right, so I'm going to read a couple different articles because they're all pretty short. But husband set on fire by wife now faces child molestation charges. So a man who was badly burned when his wife allegedly set him on fire is now facing sex crime charges. A police report filed with court papers said that Tatanisha, maybe the Y's silent, Tatansha, Tanyasha. Is the Y silent, maybe? I don't know. Excuse me, but whatever her name is, Hedman, 39 at the time, so now she's 49, poured gasoline over her husband, Vincent Phillip, who was 52 at the time, and set him on fire. Hedman told prosecutors she believed, so they have different last names, I guess. She believed Phillips molested her 7-year-old daughter. I hope she more than believed it. I hope there was actually evidence. But, well, obviously I guess they did because he's being charged, but molested her 7-year-old daughter and admitted to setting the fire because shooting him was too nice. That is fucking gangster right there. She set him on fire because shooting him was not mean enough. I concur. All right. A friend who was sleeping on the couch in the apartment at the time of the incident told police she woke up to arguing and saw Hedman run out of the apartment. Phillips then ran out the bedroom with his head on fire. The friend threw a blanket over Phillips to put out the flames. Phillips didn't say anything except to scream and left the apartment. And then he ran into a convenience store later on, which they're not talking about here. So that's why I have a couple different articles, because they're all really short with just different aspects. Let's see, here's another one. A mother's love is relatively the purest and most intense kind of love in this world. Somebody wants to be a writer. We just want to know what happened. We don't need a freaking, the things that a mother can do. Oh my goodness. Okay. Like, I get it, but it's not an opinion piece, dude. We just want to know what happened, and that's kind of the thing that's what's wrong with the news now, is everybody has to like throw in their opinions. It's like, dude, we don't give a shit what you think. If we did, we would go to, the what do they call it? The opinion, the editorial page or whatever. Just tell us what happened. 2014, then 40. Okay, so now she was 40. Became the subject of local headlines when she took matters into her hands. She found out her husband defiled her 7-year-old daughter, doused her husband with gasoline, set him on fire while he was sleeping. Police, but then I thought he wasn't sleeping because the neighbors said, or the lady there said that they were arguing. They heard arguing. So maybe he woke up from the gasoline and was like, what the hell? And there was arguing, and then she set him on fire. I don't know. Reports say she waited for him to sleep before acting on what she did to her daughter, who was born outside of their marriage. Media outlets are calling it a crime of passion. Law enforcement officers took her into custody a day after. Phillips made a scene in a convenience store, yes, in Renton. So I didn't live there, but I used to frequent that area. So he ran into smoldering. It hurts. At the time, he had suffered severe burns and was rushed to the hospital. Phillips' crime did not go unpunished. While staying at the hospital to recover from his burn wounds, he was charged with first-degree child molestation. When he was arrested, I cannot say her name, admitted to the crime and said that she only did it for her sweet daughter. Filled with a mix of motherly love and utter rage, she told the police that she had initially thought about shooting her husband, but thought that it would be too nice. It's awesome. Her story captured the attention of many social media users, unsurprised. See, so I'm late to the game. This is like old. Everybody's like, dude, this is old, man. Why are you talking about it? Sorry. She received praise from her parents, who believed that she acted only to protect her child. Some even made a Facebook page and a fundraiser. I mean, yeah, legally, it's kind of like, dude, you set him on fire. It's a little, I'm sure, I don't know, I don't know, but I'm sure she got punished a little bit for that because it is kind of a little extreme. Like, I can empathize and I understand, like, I get it, but at the same time, you know, he was sleeping, he wasn't in the middle of molesting the child, you know, there are laws and stuff, so it's kind of, plus, like, even if he was in the middle of doing it, you're not going to douse him in gasoline because then you're going to douse your daughter, you know, so if he was actually doing it and then he got shot, it'd be like, oh, well, that's the way it is. But the way it went down, even though it's gangster and I agree with it, you know, can't work. A recent post from the page said that she is out and is staying at a transitional house in the meantime. She is also receiving much love from the Facebook community and blah, 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 blah. All right. But see, I don't have, this is all, again, well, it's a couple of years later. When did this come out? So this is right after. So $500,000 was her bail. Let's see if there's anything extra on here. According to court documents, entering Renton officers could smell a strong odor of gasoline in a Renton apartment, Martin Luther King Way, where prosecutors allege that Hedman doused her husband with gasoline and set him on fire. Burn marks were observed on the couch in the living room, so he's sleeping on the couch. A woman staying in the apartment told investigators she had heard the couple arguing. So that's what I'm talking about. So, and she saw Hedman run from the bedroom of the apartment. So maybe he was sleeping, she doused him, and he woke up from it and was like, what the hell? And then she threw the match. I don't know. His head on fire. He fell next to the couch, and she threw a blanket over. Oh, this is okay before. Once the flames were out, the husband put on some clothes and left the apartment. Oh, so it wasn't. So he was already burned. Then he threw on some clothes and he left. See, they kind of, the posts in the pictures make it seem like he's like running down the street on fire. You know, I don't know. But the husband made his way to a 7-Eleven, asked the clerk to call for medical help. Well, if he was able to put clothes on, why didn't he call? I don't know. That's just weird. Maybe he just wanted to get out of the area, I guess. Told the officer my wife did it. He fell asleep before he could give the officer her name. Fell asleep? More like passed out? Shock? Dude, what? According to documents, he told an officer my wife did it. He fell asleep. So this is after he got burned, threw on his clothes, went to the 7-Eleven and talked to a cop before he could give the officer her name. He didn't fall asleep. Well, maybe they gave him, maybe this was EMS is already on scene and they doped him up, give him pain reliever, and the cop is talking to him, and that's why he fell asleep. So maybe that, but that's the thing. It's like, dude, if you're writing these, like, as EMS was, you know, whatever, I don't know, the people that write these are just horrible anymore. Harborview Medical Center, been there. Let's see. Renton Police Department on Thursday had asked for the public's help in finding. Well, they could. Oh, what? So I guess she went on the lam, huh? Blah, 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 blah. The husband then walked in the store. Blah blah blah. Hedman was arrested by members of the Renton Police Department, Special Operations. Details of the arrest weren't immediately available. Hedman was booked in King County Jail in Seattle. The victim was being treated in Harborview. My dogs are barking. Anyone with additional information? Okay, and that's it for that. Sounds like my wife is home. But that's about it looks like. So, I didn't really see anything new about like what... I'm assuming the guy's out of jail, the woman's out of jail with a record. I don't know. It's crazy. Cool story though. Let me know what you think. Again, thanks for hanging out. God bless, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye. You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.